Hello there. This is new for me. I came up with this idea literally this morning. Well, 3 a.m. last night. So this is the idea. I've only recently just finished Final Fantasy 15, if you couldn't tell. But I recorded like my final thoughts of everything that I did. So I wrote it down. You can see it on my Facebook if you're there. So I thought, what would be a good idea is to do something called Final Thoughts, or like we do it at the end of the playthroughs of some games that we've done already. And I thought, what would be a good idea is recording these as little reviews. There might be some little bit spoilery bits, but if they'll only be like small, so it's not massive, you're not losing much, but if there is something that I'm going to reveal throughout these, should this become a series, I'll let you know. 117 hours, 5 minutes and 20 seconds, that was the last save I made for Final Fantasy 15, and I've done everything there is to do minus 3 trophies, which those trophies are just like getting Ignis's cooking up to level 10. Well, it's level 9, so it's almost there, and Noctis's fishing to level 10 as well, but it's level 6, so I've got a bit of angling to do. And then there's a hidden trophy. I'll look that up, I don't know what it is, and then the platinum is just given to you for getting all of them, so that's that. But other than that, I've done everything, which is awesome. Minus DLC at this point. It is 19th of January 2017 at this point, so I know there's a DLC coming for the 24th, the Chocobo thing. So, Final Fantasy 15, what a journey. Like, from the moment this game was announced at E3, I was hyped. Watching the trailer, watching this other character, which ended up being Noctis, doing these warp things, and the way that he moved and how fluent, and it looked like he had weight to him, and you certainly feel that with the game. But I was excited for Final Fantasy again, so, and I haven't been hyped over Final Fantasy since 10. That's about it, because 7 was just the peak for me. You can't get much better than that, but damn, this game is good. It blew my mind. The story, let's run over a few things. It's very investing, this story. Despite Square Enix expecting you to watch the anime like they did, the Brotherhood anime, there's 5 episodes, and you can get a little bonus Luna Freya scene. But there's the anime that they wanted you to watch, and the CG movie Kingsglaive thing, so you know what you're getting yourself into. Square Enix does that, but like it says, as soon as you start up the game, it says Final Fantasy for fans and first timers, and I could feel that they were pushing a lot of the first timer bit, because a lot of complaints that I've heard about Final Fantasy 15 is that it gets very linear at some points, but in the end, that's okay. You might be used to a Final Fantasy where you're wandering around aimlessly, what do I do? Where is Tifa? Whoever that one girl was. Something like that. Trying to figure out what you're doing a lot of the time, and in the end, that can be very rewarding. Like Symphony of the Night. If you're thrown in, you're not exactly sure where to go, you figure that out for yourself, but in the end you kind of have your own way of going about it. So what I did, my path, if you like, was go through certain story bits, and then do as many hunts as I can at that point, as many side quests as I can do at that point, and be at the right level for it. Because right now, well, if you've seen any screenshots that I've done, it's I'm at level 99 for everyone, and like I said, I've got everything. So that's all the side quests done, which is kind of sad, really. But yeah, it's just investing. The story I'm not going to spoil big things, because you need to go play it for yourself, honestly. The gameplay was incredible, while at the start it was a little bit odd and unorthodox, because at first I was very confused, because in the game you get these weapons that are the royal weapons, which is like your ancestors, the kings before you. And you get them when you visit their tombs, which I liked the idea. It's a very rewarding thing to go through a dungeon. And doing that, you get these weapons. But one thing that they do mention, I will say, but I didn't read, or it wasn't obvious at first, when you use these royal weapons, it drains your health every time you use an attack. So when I was attacking something with these weapons, I was like, okay, it's not, the enemy's not hitting me, but I'm hitting it and I'm getting hurt. Is it the force? Does that hurt? The force of where you hit something? I guess that could hurt. But no, it's just the fact that the weapon just drains your life force, which in the end you figure out why. But then you figure out that other weapons are okay, and then you start like really using the warp points, you start using dodging, the phasing mechanic, and just I have not played a game where the gameplay is fucking phenomenal. It's like, to this extent, I mean, like other games are fucking brilliant, but this, it kind of Kingdom Heartsifies the game style. If you've ever played Kingdom Hearts, you know what you're getting yourself into. It's kind of around that line. You've seen what it's like, so it's got me very, very excited, like in terms of gameplay and the combat system, for future installments of the series, and especially, very especially, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which, oh god, I want it now. But it just works perfectly when you figure it out. There's always the, like, making yourself stronger, like you do with, like, say, Dark Souls, Symphony of the Night, which we're finishing tomorrow, actually, so you can enjoy that. And that's all I can really say for the gameplay, in terms of combat, because combat is very incredible. You can choose to fight or run, sometimes you don't have a choice, and you have to fight. And the element system with where you craft your spells, like, I really liked that. First I was a bit confused, like how do I cast Ultima or Meteor? Like, well, you can't exactly do that, but you can create your own spells. You can do Tri-Cast, which you have fire, lightning and ice formed into one, which I found really cool. But there's one thing that I had no idea I could do, but until accidentally, that you can equip like items that you pick up to the spells you're crafting, and if you do it right, you can eventually turn Thunder into Electron, which is the strongest form it can be, and like you can get to Thunder. You can do so much with it, and it's really cool. And a good tip for when you're trying to level up, make sure you have rare coins and you put them onto your spells, because every time you use a spell, no matter what fight it is, you're going to get crap loads of experience, which really helped me, especially when you're doing hunts as well. And then you, speaking of experience, the way that works, I really liked that system. I didn't think I would, but when I went through, it was really interesting. So what you do, like, you have multiple days. It's a day and night system, which it's really cool. It's obviously not a real 24-hour game, which would just be hell when you're trying to wait around for things, because some dungeons only open at night. Castle Mark Tower, I'm looking at you. Yeah, the day and night system, it's days obviously, but you also have rest points. Like, you don't get punished for not resting. I guess the only punishment is the one that you're doing to yourself, and you're stopping yourself from leveling up, because you need to rest for the experience to go into you, if that makes sense, because it's kind of like you're storing it in a bank. yeah, that's a good way of putting it. You say you found some money on the floor. That is your experience for that day. Then when you go to the bank and you put it in, that is it stored then. That's kind of how it works, because whenever you rest, the experience that you've stored up to yourself will go into you, and then that's how it works basically. And honestly, I'm surprised that I liked it the way I did, because it had me going out of my way a lot more, so that way I could pump whatever experience I could in at that time. And I figured out, oh, if I eat this meal, because it's fresh, it will give me an XP boost, so every time I get experience it will like go upwards. And combining that with the XP spells, where you like use a spell, you get more XP for it, and then you sleep at the right place, which I used golden key a lot more, because it times it by what you've got by 2. So if you've got like 10,000, it's going to go up a hell of a lot more, and you're going to get a lot more levels, and it's going to be worth it in the end. So that's very clever, and I worked that around the way I was playing the game. So moving on from that, the visuals. Fucking hell! And I thought like Metal Gear 4 for the PS3 launch title was bloody beautiful, which it fucking is, by the way. If you don't believe me, look at the scene when they're on the ship, that old World War II boat thing, when that's coming across the water. Look at that visual. Fuck. But I digress. Final Fantasy 15. It's beautiful. The trees are trees, obviously, but in terms of character models, the amount of detail they put into like the face, and this is not even like the cutscenes, because the cutscenes are obviously better, but the gameplay graphics are out of this world. I've never seen anything quite like them, because during the game, you know, like the details on your hand like that? I can see that on Nox's hand! You can't see that with anybody else, like in any other game. So like, I'm just blown away by the visuals. The world itself, like the first place that you're in, like, I can't remember the actual name, I just say the place where Hammerhead is, the first place that you start, where you're pushing the car, that desert-y kind of area. That's fucking beautiful. I'm going to say beautiful a lot, but it really is, because you sometimes there was sandstorms, and like, I was just, whoa, this is crazy. And like, every little bit that you can see details on the rise, you can see the veins on Nox's hand. Like, I've mentioned so much about like how the water, obviously you got to say water looks good, and it bloody does. The enemies look fucking horrifying, especially like when you get to the Iron Giant. When the Iron Giant first like showed up at night, I saw that hand coming out of the ground. I was like, oh bollocks, I should probably fucking run, because it looked horrifying. And then there's Yojimbo and all kinds of characters, enemies, like, and the giant snake, the great snakes and stuff like that. I don't even know where to start with those, because they look threatening. And the behemoth, the first behemoth that you're going to run into is Deadeye. If you played the Disguise demo thing, you'll know who he is, but it's kind of part of the story in the end anyway. So you fight this behemoth for a hunt to bring the chocobos back, because they're afraid of this guy. So when you're hunting him, like, you have to sneak around trying to strike at the right time. But fuck, the amount of tension that they build with this beast, you really feel horrified. So then I was like looking forward to what else the game had to offer. And then I completed the game, and then I did the after game where you fight the super boss, the Adamantoise, the gigantic fucking mountain. Only in a game can you say, I killed a mountain today. But Jesus, that was a fight in itself. Like, I know I've seen like videos saying how to beat it in 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and like, yeah, that's cool and all, but I want the fight to have a bit of a journey, and that was a hell of a journey. I was combining spells, trying to do all kinds of stuff, and blocking it, and oh, it's brilliant. Also, by the way, that secret dungeon where you have to have the flying regalia, fuck that dungeon, it can suck a dick. I just had to get it out there. Every detail has not been overlooked at all. And the food, the food that Ignis makes, it looks like food. It doesn't look like weird clay shit like every other game has done. It actually looks delicious, and it's making me hungry. I want to eat this, but it's not real. It's, like, I think they did a lot to do, like, they pushed everything. The way the fishes look, because Noctis's special, like, hobby, if you like, is fishing. And it's crazy how much detail they put into so much of it. It's crazy. It's like if you've ever been to the making of Harry Potter Studios, just look at, and you're looking at in like these magazines that they've had, like, that's only been on screen for like 2 seconds. The magazine's full. It's got loads of stuff. It's filled to the brim with text and articles and all kinds of stuff. We don't actually see any of that, but that's the amount of detail that they go into. This game kind of does that, and it just, you feel it every moment that you play. So I can't recommend it enough if you're a visual nut. And the music is fucking incredible and immersive. Like, the boss fight, when I first came to my big monster, hearing that, like, choir sing, or singer, just go, "Aah!" like, oof, I felt like, oh shit, this is gonna be fun. Oh, this is gonna be a journey, you know? It was just, I felt great when I was doing it. And every, like, different location has its own kind of musical track, and there's a lot of southern themes, which is weird. Like, I get it, it's fine, but, it works, but what? I don't know. Forget that. So, there is one musical piece, like, when you're in one of the areas, it's Kayam, where the lighthouse is, where, like, Iris is just watching over, like, do you want to go tend to the garden and whatnot? Like, that musical piece, that weird guitar, no, not weird, it's definitely guitar, but that piece, oh my god, I love it. I don't know what it is, but it is fucking beautiful. I don't know, like, the melody all works, it strings together, and it just grounds me. It's so immersive, and I love it. And the after game was brilliant. Like, the secret dungeon, like, this was fucking shit. But the dungeons inside of the dungeons, where you need to have that key, special key after you beat the game, they were a lot of fun. They were very challenging. Some of them were piss, but a lot of them were quite challenging. And they were challenging gauntlets that reminded me of Onimusha. If you ever played that, there is like a tower thing that you get, like, super fucking awesome armor sometimes. But those were fun. You get loads of cool weapons in there. And every side quest character, like Sanya, Dave, and so I totally care about them. But everyone, like, all of them, Iris, she has side quests too. Like, all these kinds of things are brilliant. I cared about these characters. Like, every other game you just do it because, hey, I'm getting cool stuff. But, like, yeah, you feel that, but you also want to help these people. It's similar to Majora's Mask. It is very much side quest the game in some sense, but I feel invested in every single character that, you know, matters. And I haven't had this much fun in a Final Fantasy since 7. Well, like, 10 was great, and 9 is a masterpiece, but 7, oh, 7. Like, there's a reason why it's the most loved and talked about Final Fantasy. There's a reason for it. It's so good, and I haven't had that much fun since this beautiful puppy right here. So, if you're into the Final Fantasy genre, or Final Fantasy genre, if you're into Final Fantasy or the RPG genre, or even if you're not, I cannot recommend this enough. It is brilliant, the music's great, characters are funny, like, and the interactions between the four guys, or like the boy band if you like, are brilliant. It does get very Sonic Heroes, like, they don't shut up, but, and they do repeat a lot of what they say, but I feel like that's what I would say in some situations. Noct is very much me in some way, because my parents will ask me to do something like the washing up, and I'll go, yeah, alright, I know. If you play the game, you know that Noct says that a lot. But I care about this game a lot. It's brilliant, and yeah, the story. Fuck the story sometimes, because it made me fucking cry. Like, I have not felt emotion like that since 7. Since Aerith. That's a spoiler if you haven't played 7, but who hasn't played... Even if you haven't played 7, you know Aerith dies. But, like, oof, it's such a wonderful game, and I can't wait to see what else, like DLC-wise happens, and I can't wait to see what the series does after this. They're probably going to push the 7 remake as much as possible. I still don't like the fact that it's episodic, from what if that's still a thing. I hope it's not in the end, but we can hope, right? So yeah, I can not highly recommend this game enough. If you like games in general, just pick it up. You don't need to be a fan of Final Fantasy to know how awesome this is, but it's fucking amazing. Pick it up when you get the chance. And those are my final thoughts. And now is, oh yeah, and it's probably my game of the year. So, well, 2016. So there you go. Those are my final thoughts. I think I'm gonna name this series FT review. Like, these are FT reviews, final thought reviews. So if you liked this, or liked the idea, tell me what you think I could improve on. Yeah, by the way, sorry for the audio. I can't find my actual mic at the moment, so I'm just using my laptop internal mic, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. Sorry. But yeah, tell me if you liked this. Tell me what needs to be better, and yeah. And now it's always the question: what game is next?